Chapter 27. Matsarasura defeats Indra. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. The intoxicated Asuras advanced to the abode of Varuna, celebrating their victory. The chief of the Asuras sent his messenger to Varuna's assembly. On arriving at the assembly of Varuna, the Duta said, "O Lord of the waters, Varuna, King Matsara has sent me with a message. O powerful one, accept my dominion, and you can live in your abode happily. Or else I shall kill you and your associate Devas in battle." Listening to the message of the Duta, Varuna was mad with fury. The ferocious Varuna prepared for a war. He mounted on a crocodile and carrying the noose, Pasha, and other astras, he set forth accompanied by the aquatic creatures in the form of Devas. After returning, Duta recounted a comprehensive account about his meeting with Varuna. In response, Matsara, the lord of the Daityas, left for the battle with the Asuras. The daunting armies of both the Devas and the Daityas marched towards the battlefield. Seeing the fierce and awe-inspiring army of the gods, Virochana, Mahishasura, Shumba, Andakasura, and other Asuras were agitated and charged onto the battlefield. They bravely attacked the gods. Devas and Daityas waged a fierce battle against each other, filled with hatred, fighting for victory. They fought using weapons, astras, trees, and rocks. They wished to destroy each other. The fierce and tumultuous battle between the Devas and Daityas continued for 3 days unceasingly. Thereafter, the resistance of the Daityas was shattered. The gods living in the water bellowed so loudly that Virochana and other Daityas were rendered unconscious. Shukracharya revived them using the power of his penance. The revived Asuras continued to wage a bitter war. They attacked the powerful Devas again with renewed vigor. Once again, a fierce battle ensued between the Daityas and the Devas. The Devas who lived in the oceans and other aquatic creatures and warriors waged a continuous battle throughout the day and night. But several Devas were shattered, crushed or killed. The rest fled in different directions and went into hiding. The powerful Virochana captured Varuna. On hearing this news of Varuna's capture, a stampede ensued in this army. Some died, some were injured, while some surrendered to the Daityas. The ecstatic Daityas declared victory. After having won, the victorious army confidently proceeded north through the waters, targeting Kubera next. Kubera had learnt about the events of Varuna Loka. He immediately escaped to Kailash and sought refuge with Shankara at Kailash. When the Daityas heard that Kubera had abandoned Alkapuri, they established themselves in the town, having won without a fight. After defeating Kubera and taking hostage Varuna with them, the Daitya army advanced towards the Loka of Yama, the embodiment of death. A Duta had briefed Yamaraja about the Daitya victories, so he was prepared. He mounted his buffalo, the vehicle, carrying his staff and taking the Mahamrityu, great death, with him. The ferocious Yama went to the battlefield. He was accompanied by his army of Mrityu and Roga, death and disease respectively. The Daitya warriors attacked him vehemently with all their might. The armies of the Devas and Daityas fought bravely for a long time, shouting at each other, instigating each other, and using various assaults. Both the armies engaged in offensive warfare. O Prajapati, such a fierce and extraordinary battle to destroy the Devas and Daityas continued for 5 days. The Yama army attacked and killed or wounded many Daityas. Fearing Mrityu, the Daityas fled in different directions. Just then, Vishayapriya, the son of Matsarasura, arrived with a fresh battalion. He began to fight Mrityu. Obeying the command of Matsara, he assumed the form of a human and struck blows on the chest of the warring Roga, disease. The soldiers of Mrityu were rendered helpless against a fatal attack by the weapons and astras. The soldiers of Yama in the form of death fled. Vishapriya fiercely attacked Yama, who had been deserted by his army. He injured Yama's vehicle, the buffalo, who was rendered unconscious. As a result, Yama also fell. Dharmaraja, however, stood up, roared loudly, and hurled the staff of death, Kaladanda, towards the Daitya son Vishapriya. But the Kaladanda was ineffective and fell to the ground after striking him. The Daitya's son courageously retaliated by apprehending Yama. The chiefs of Daitya army lauded the feat performed by the Daitya's son. Daityas imprisoned Yama and proceeded to attack Amravati, Indra's abode. Indra, his army, and the Devas were prepared for the Daityas, who had always been their natural enemies. The mighty Agni and Vayu arrived well equipped with their most powerful armies. All the acclaimed Devas from their respective lokas arrived well equipped. Vishwadeva, Sadhyadeva, Rudra, Vasu, Gandharvas, Yakshas, and Vidyadharas had joined forces. The planets Chandra, Surya, the valiant Aditya, sun gods, joined to support Indra with determination. Along with all Devas and Ganas, Indra mounted Airavata, the mammoth, and carrying the Vajra, astra of Indra, arrived on the battlefield. Seeing the well-equipped Deva army, the Daityas launched a ferocious attack with their weapons. The agitated Devas retaliated with equal vigor. A tumultuous war ensued. Several Daityas succumbed to the wounds inflicted by the Devas. Some Devas were killed by the Daityas. Some were mutilated and fell unconscious. Such a destructive war continued for 7 nights. The powers of the Asuras were accentuated at night. Thereafter, the Asuras lost their will and retreated from the battlefield. Virochana and several chief Daityas were rendered unconscious and fell to the ground. The triumphant Deva armies became ecstatic and proclaimed their victory. These unexpected events prompted Matsara's elder son, Sundarapriya, to come to the battlefield. He attacked the Devas with renewed vigor. He attacked the Devas using weapons and astras. He wrestled with Devas and pounded them. The terrified warriors in the army of Devas fled in all directions. Prajapati, rivers of blood flowed on the battlefield. Indra arrived on the battlefield to combat the experienced Daitya son. He released his unerring astra, Amoga Vajra, thunderbolt, on the mighty Daitya. Yet the Daitya was unmoved. It was now Indra's turn to be surprised. The Daitya son injured Airavata with a sword. The elephant fell unconscious and Indra too fell. The Daitya took Indra captive. Having beaten and imprisoned Indra, he returned to his camp happily. The Daitya's son was felicitated by other Daityas. Matsara felt that his son Sundarapriya was an idol of joy. O Daksha, he went on to destroy the remaining Devas. Some were caught, some fell unconscious, others fled. In this manner, the Daityas defeated all the Devas and made them surrender. It was then that Matsarasura became the king of Swarga. Thus ends the chapter 27 titled Matsarasura defeats Indra of the first Khand of the Puran Upanishad, Srimad Mudgal Puran, describing the legend of Vakratunda, dedicated to Sri Gajanana. End of chapter 27.